Let's begin by understanding something very important. Dark circles are not just a cosmetic issue. They're not just shadows under your eyes. They are signals. Gentle alarms your body is sending to say, pay attention to me. And when we ignore those signs or cover them with concealer, we miss a crucial opportunity to heal from within. Now, we've all heard the common explanations: fatigue, stress, age, but let's dig deeper. Why do dark circles appear more often in women? And why do they linger even when we sleep well or hydrate more? First, the hormonal story. Women go through cyclical shifts in estrogen and progesterone every month, and these changes affect blood circulation and skin pigmentation. During menstruation, especially when there's heavy bleeding, your hemoglobin drops. Hemoglobin carries oxygen, and when it's low, say in the range of 8 or 9, instead of the ideal 12 or 13, your blood appears darker and your skin paler. That combination makes under eye veins more visible, creating that telltale shadow. And if you're using hormonal birth control, particularly injectables, the changes can be even more dramatic. These medications can thicken the blood vessels under the eyes or trigger subtle fluid retention, which adds to puffiness and discoloration. It's not just about being tired. It's about how your internal chemistry is shifting. Second, let's talk about iron. Iron deficiency is one of the most underdiagnosed causes of dark circles in women. Why? Because many women assume it's normal to feel exhausted, to look tired, to push through the day. They don't realize that persistent fatigue and visible under eye shadows might be signs of something deeper, a body starving for oxygen. You see, when iron is low, your tissues can't get the nourishment they need. Your skin, which is your largest organ, responds with dullness, dryness, and yes, those deep, stubborn shadows under the eyes. But it's not just physical. There's a psychological side too. Think about how your face changes when you're emotionally drained. Worry, anxiety, long-term stress. These things constrict your blood vessels, especially around the face, reducing healthy blood flow. That means less oxygen, less radiance, and more shadows. Chronic stress even triggers cortisol, which breaks down collagen, thinning the delicate skin around the eyes and making veins more prominent. There's a beautiful truth hidden here. Your body is always telling the truth. It doesn't lie to you. The darkness under your eyes might be the first chapter in a story about imbalance. Whether it's hormonal, nutritional, emotional, or spiritual, it's easy to ignore, but if you pause and listen, those shadows become insight. Some women also inherit their dark circles. Yes, genetics play a role. But even then, the intensity can be modulated by your lifestyle. In other words, genes load the gun, but environment pulls the trigger. You may be born with thinner skin under the eyes, but iron deficiency, dehydration, or emotional strain are what amplify the visibility and aging. Let's talk about it openly. As we grow older, the skin naturally loses fat and collagen. It becomes thinner, but that's not a sentence to suffer. It's a message to be more intentional with care, internally and externally. Don't just chase youth, nurture health. I want you to think of your face not as something to be judged, but as a dashboard, like the one in your car. When the fuel light comes on, you don't paint over it. You refuel. When the skin around your eyes darkens, that's your body's fuel light blinking. It needs something, maybe rest, maybe iron, maybe healing, but it always needs attention, not avoidance. There's a profound philosophy in this: the skin doesn't exist separate from the soul. When your emotional life is out of balance, your face carries the weight. That's why solutions for dark circles must be holistic. Not just creams and masks, but rest, nutrients, boundaries, emotional release. So, before you rush to buy another under-eye serum, pause. Ask yourself, am I nourishing my body? Am I sleeping deeply and without guilt? Am I breathing? Am I whole? Because your eyes, those windows to your soul, are also the mirrors of your habits. And that's the beauty of this conversation. Once you understand the why, the how becomes empowering. You stop treating the symptom and start healing the source. Let me leave you with this. The face reflects the story you tell your body every day. Make it a story of nourishment, not neglect. Now that we've explored why dark circles form, let's go one layer deeper, not into your skin, but into your system. Because the truth is, you can't brighten the eyes without nourishing the body. You can't fix the surface if the roots remain ignored. And the roots are almost always internal: what you're eating, how you're absorbing, and what you're missing on a cellular level. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is this: Stop thinking of your under eye skin as separate from the rest of your body. That thin tissue isn't an isolated zone. It's simply the most honest. It reveals deficiencies faster than anywhere else. When you're low on nutrients, especially iron, B, vitamins, and antioxidants, the under eye area is the first place to betray you. And when you feed your body the right way, it's also the first place to recover. Let's begin with iron. Because for so many women, this is the hidden culprit. Especially if your hemoglobin is low, even below 10 or 11, dark circles become almost inevitable. It's not vanity, it's biology. Your skin needs oxygen, rich blood to stay bright. And iron is the mineral that makes that happen. Without enough of it, your blood becomes sluggish, your circulation weakens, and the result is a pale, almost bluish tone around the eyes. Now here's the trap many women with low iron try to eat healthy by avoiding red meat or skipping meals. But the body doesn't care about your food rules. It cares about your needs. And it needs absorbable iron. If meat isn't your choice, no problem, there are powerful plant-based sources. Dates, spinach, jaggery, pumpkin seeds, lentils, beetroot. These foods have been revered in traditional medicine not just for their taste, but for their healing energy. But here's a critical key. Iron needs a partner to be absorbed properly. That partner is vitamin C. Without it, much of the iron you eat just passes through. So if you're adding iron-rich foods, you must also add citrus fruits like lemon, amla, guava, or even raw tomatoes and bell peppers. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Hydration plays a massive role here too. I know you've heard this 100 times, but let me tell you what hydration really does. Water isn't just about thirst. It's about detoxification. When your kidneys, liver, and lymphatic system are supported with enough water, your body can eliminate the waste products that cause puffiness and dullness under the eyes. A dehydrated body holds on to toxins, and that retention shows up right where the skin is thinnest, beneath the eyes. But let's go even deeper. Your under eye skin isn't just lacking nutrients. It may be inflamed. Chronic inflammation caused by sugar, processed food, fried snacks, or artificial preservatives damages capillaries and creates shadows. The foods that heal are the ones that calm. Turmeric, ginger, garlic berries, leafy greens. Not only do these reduce inflammation, but they also boost collagen, improve circulation, and restore clarity to the eyes. I often tell patients, don't eat for weight. Eat for energy, eat for blood, eat for clarity. When you do, the external brightness becomes inevitable. Your eyes start to reflect vitality, not just appearance. Now, let's not forget the psychological layer. How you feed yourself is deeply linked to how you value yourself. Many women prioritize others' needs so completely that their own meals become afterthoughts. They'll cook full meals for their families, then settle for leftover bread and chai. This isn't a food issue. It's a worth issue. You can't heal from the outside if you've decided deep down that your needs come last. This is where philosophy meets nutrition. Every bite you take is a message to your cells. When that bite is filled with life, colors, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, your body receives a signal of renewal. When that bite is rushed, empty, or artificial, your body gets the opposite message, depletion. And that message, it shows up right under your eyes. So I encourage you, don't just change your diet. Change your story around food. Make your meals intentional, even sacred. Add color, add freshness, and don't eat just to fill hunger. Eat to fill deficiency. Because ultimately, dark circles aren't just a cosmetic nuisance. They are a quiet language your body uses to say, I'm running low. And you have the power, through your food choices, your hydration, your self-care, to respond with love and healing, not with neglect. Let this be your new philosophy. The most radiant eyes don't come from makeup. They come from nourishment. Let's take a step back and ask a powerful question. What if the real reason for dark circles isn't just what you're lacking in your diet, but what you're losing in your rest? Because sometimes it's not about what you eat, it's about how you recover. And when that recovery is broken, your body begins to quietly show the consequences right beneath your eyes. Sleep is not optional. It is not a luxury. It is a biological requirement. When you don't sleep deeply or consistently, your skin doesn't repair. Your blood vessels don't relax. Your stress hormones don't shut off. And your under eye area, the thinnest, most fragile skin on your entire body, ends up carrying the evidence of that internal chaos. Now, I'm not just talking about quantity. I'm talking about quality sleep. the kind that restores your nervous system, balances your hormones, and triggers cellular healing, the kind of sleep that allows your liver to detoxify your blood and your skin to renew itself. Most people get hours, but not depth, and that's the problem. For women especially, this becomes more complex. Hormonal fluctuations, whether due to menstruation, family planning injections, or perimenopause, can dramatically disrupt sleep cycles. Night cramps in the legs, frequent urination, or racing thoughts are all signs that your body isn't slipping into true rest. You're lying down, but you're not letting go. And over time, this chronic, subtle tension leaves marks, emotional and physical. If your sleep is disturbed by muscle cramps at night, that's a clue your magnesium is low. Magnesium is the mineral of calm. It's involved in over 300 biochemical processes in the body, including muscle relaxation and melatonin production. Without it, not only do you wake up tired, but your skin becomes more inflamed, your body more reactive, and your face more puffy. Simple solutions often make the biggest difference. Bananas, pumpkin seeds, almonds, natural sources of magnesium, should become a nightly ritual. A warm foot soak with Epsom salts before bed can do more for your eyes than the most expensive eye cream. These aren't just remedies, they're signals to your nervous system that it's safe to release, safe to heal. Now, let's talk about stress. Because stress and sleep are two ends of the same rope. When your mind is burdened by worry, guilt, or emotional exhaustion, it becomes nearly impossible to slip into restorative sleep. Your body may lie still, but your nervous system remains hypervigilant. And once again, your skin suffers. Stress triggers cortisol. Cortisol breaks down collagen. It constricts blood flow. It makes the veins beneath your eyes more visible, and the tissues around them retain water. That combination, thinner skin, sluggish circulation, and inflammation, creates the perfect recipe for dark, puffy under eyes. And if left unaddressed, no cream in the world will make a lasting difference. But here's something powerful to remember: your body is not your enemy. It's your messenger. And when stress starts to show on your face, it's not betraying you. It's pleading with you. It's saying, please slow down, please breathe, please reconnect. This is why nighttime rituals are so sacred. Not because they're trendy, but because they give your mind and body permission to step away from survival mode. It doesn't have to be complicated. A few deep breaths, a moment of prayer or reflection, lavender oil on your temples, a short stretch to signal the muscles to soften. These small acts, repeated night after night, restore not just your sleep, but your sense of safety. And nothing heals the face faster than safety. Your skin is not vain. It is sensitive. It responds to your inner environment. And when that environment is filled with worry, overthinking, and chronic self-sacrifice, the first place it shows is the eyes. The same eyes that see others so clearly often go unseen themselves. And that's the tragedy we must reverse, not just with products, but with presence. When you give yourself the gift of rest, you're not being indulgent. You're being wise, because no act of self-care is selfish when it allows you to show up healthier, kinder, and more vibrant for those around you. And one final thought: you can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. If your lifestyle is built around exhaustion, even the best nutrition won't save your skin. You must rebuild your rhythm, create space for rest, protect your peace. Let go of the belief that productivity equals worth, because what the world needs more of, what you need more of, is not perfection, but presence. So tonight, when you prepare for bed, don't just collapse. Enter rest as if it were medicine, because in many ways it is. And always remember this: brighter eyes begin with a quieter mind. At this point in our journey, we've understood the internal causes: low iron, poor sleep, chronic stress, and how they silently etch fatigue into the skin under your eyes. But now comes the part many people rush to first: what can I put on it? What do I apply? And while we've seen that true healing begins inside, there is still value, deep value, in external care, when it's done intentionally, naturally, and in harmony with your body. The skin around your eyes is a fragile truth teller. It's thinner, more delicate, and more reactive than any other part of your face. That's why it often shows dehydration, allergies, or inflammation first. And that's also why you must approach it not with force, but with gentleness, patience, and wisdom. Let's start with something timeless: rose water. Now, rose water isn't just a pretty cosmetic. It has real anti-inflammatory, cooling, and pH balancing effects. When you soak 2 cotton pads in chilled rose water and place them over your eyes for 10 minutes, you're not just refreshing the surface. You're reducing histamine reactions, shrinking dilated blood vessels, and calming the skin's inflammatory response. Think of it as a reset button, a signal to your face that the war is over. The battle against stress, screens, pollution. It ends the moment you give your eyes that kind of care. Next, consider what nature already designed for darkness, potato, and cucumber. It may sound like an old grandmother's remedy, and that's because it is, but science is finally catching up to what tradition already knew. Potatoes contain catecholase, an enzyme known for its natural skin lightening properties. When applied raw and cool, they help fade pigmentation gradually, not by bleaching, but by calming melanin production and improving circulation. Cucumbers, on the other hand, are rich in antioxidants and silica. Their cooling nature makes them perfect for puffiness. They hydrate, reduce swelling, and restore that tight, firm feeling under the eye. And here's the key: it's not about dramatic results overnight. It's about daily, consistent messages to the skin. I see you. I care for you. I'm not covering you up. I'm nourishing you. Now let's talk about aloe vera. This plant is not a trend. It's a pharmacy in a leaf. Its gel contains compounds that reduce inflammation, promote collagen production, and accelerates skin healing. If you keep aloe vera gel chilled and apply a small amount under the eyes each night, it not only soothes irritation, but also hydrates deeply without clogging pores. Dryness, as we know, exaggerates darkness. Moisture is not vanity, it's protection. But perhaps one of the most powerful nighttime rituals you can practice is the use of castor oil and vitamin E. These 2 ingredients are rich, heavy, and deeply penetrating. Castor oil improves lymphatic flow, which is essential when fluid pools under the eyes and creates puffiness. It also supports circulation, gently warming and loosening stagnation under the skin. When paired with vitamin E, a potent antioxidant, this duo becomes a nightly serum that restores what the day took away. Use it thoughtfully. Warm a drop between your fingers. Press it in, not rub. Let it sit. Let it speak. Your skin is not waiting to be scrubbed, poked, or painted. It is waiting to be remembered. And here's something even deeper to consider. The act of caring for your eyes, massaging them, cooling them, nourishing them, isn't just cosmetic. It's emotional. It's symbolic. These are the same eyes that have seen your hardest moments, your late nights, your grief and fatigue. And yet, here they are, still open, still fighting, still alive. When you place something healing on them, you're not just treating skin, you're honoring survival. Natural remedies work not only because they're safe, but because they invite slowness. They ask you to pause, to trust time, to believe in restoration rather than instant correction. They don't demand results, they inspire rhythm. And rhythm, as we've seen again and again, is how the body heals. So if you're applying anything at all, make it sacred. Use your hands not with frustration, but with grace. Don't approach your reflection as a critic. Approach it as a healer, as a woman who finally understands that her face is not a battlefield, but a garden. And gardens don't bloom overnight. They bloom with patience, with water, with light. Because in the end, nature knows what your skin has forgotten. Healing isn't loud. It's quiet, consistent, and beautifully slow.